Hi there, my name is Diane Morrison, and I'm a science fiction and fantasy author. I'm looking for your help to publish my novel, A Few Good Elves. Three years ago, you guys helped me publish Once Upon a Time in the Weird West, which is a collection of my Weird Western serial stories. And 2 years ago, you helped me to edit and publish Gunsmoke and Dragonfire, a fantasy western anthology. I figure we make a winning team. The Toy Soldier Saga is a fantasy space opera universe. It has all of the elements of space opera science fiction, but everything's done by magic. I don't think there's anything out there that is quite like it. And I really hope that you'll enjoy it and the extended universe that has been created around it.
I am Chris. I play Arian, the grizzled, older, ex-enlisted elf.
Remember, we've only got 30 days to make this happen. With your support, you can have some of the art that's been created for the books, you can have the stories, the ebook, a trade paperback copy, a hardcover copy, you might be able to get them signed. You could even get the entire collection of everything that I have previously published or been published in. Thanks in advance for your support, and thank you for listening. And hello, and welcome to a special Kickstarter edition of Diane Writes. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you very much, World Anvil, for the raid. I really appreciate it. Secondhand, you're awesome. Congratulations to Dinosaur Bob, who won the short story package. That's awesome. Bob's a friend of mine. I'm happy you won. That's cool. Oh, we have dingy things. Oh, thank you so much for the follows, guys. Let's see. I've got a lot of thank yous to do today. There's been quite a lot that has happened here in the past several hours. All right. Thank you to Zakaru972, Cheshire Grin 63, Winged Leo. Hey, Ricardo, good to see you. Chris Danger Rose, Fevier au Pico, and let's see who else. There's a bunch of follows here, so I'm checking them. Stiltus, Airships Are Crashing. That's a great handle. Like that. Drema Kest and Schmeckles. Thank you guys so much for the follows. It's really appreciated. Oh, hey, thank you, Basic Bacon, for the bits. Oh, you're awesome. That's great. Thank you so much. And also thank you for the subs, too. There's been a few people here as well. Siobhan the Writer and Mergendor renewing their subscriptions, 8 and 9 months, respectively. I really appreciate the ongoing support, guys. You're amazing. You're really amazing. I normally start my streams by saying hello to everyone individually, but I may not be able to do that today. There are a lot of you. So I'm just going to say Hello, and especially welcome to the Anvilites, because, I've got to say, I think about 90% of my backers are Anvilites. It's the most amazing community on the internet. It's one I'm proud to be part of. You guys are just the coolest. Cough, Anvil raid, cough! Exactly. Thank you so much, World Anvil, for the raid. For sure. Yeah, it would be a lot of hellos, says Chris. Yes, we're very close to funded. Checking in on the Kickstarter this morning. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Secondhand, for the bits. That's really appreciated. You're amazing, too. Yeah, I woke up this morning to the lovely surprise of being, I think it said 93% funded. Let me look at my... Whoop, no, you don't want to see that. That's nobody's business but mine. Yes, 93% funded. 58 backers. You guys are amazing. Somebody whose name I did not recognize but suspect is connected to a certain Anvilite went for the High Admiral of the Navy package last night, which is the one that gives you basically every print book I have to send you signed wherever you are in the world, plus all the ebooks that I have to distribute as well. It's the top package, and it's awesome. I can't thank you guys enough for the support. And thank you to everyone in the chat who has already supported. If you cannot afford to support and you want to, that's okay. I understand being really broke. It's cool. Just remember that sharing is also supporting, right? So tell your friends, share it on Twitter, share it on whatever social media you have. They make it easy at Kickstarter. And the book release looks like I can say the book release will be in September, right? Early September, September 7th. So you'll have another chance. So it's all cool. I totally understand. All right. So today what I'm going to do, yes, sharing is caring. Exactly, Kayatan. That's exactly right. All right. Awesome. So what I'm going to do today is do some world building on the Toy Soldier Saga. I have done none of the summer camp prep because I have been overwhelmed with a bunch of things that happen to be going on at the moment. I just realized I did not put up my stream manager on my broken ass phone. So I'm going to do that so that I can make sure to keep track of the chat. I figure maybe I'll start with my pledge article today. I am so behind. For most of the month, I'm going to be working on the Toy Soldier Saga universe for the prompts. But I'm also going to be working on our World Builders Roundtable project with Kahuna the Elder, Dinosaur Bob, DM Stretch, and Aaron. Right? We are doing that. It's a thing, and you guys had us create a very interesting craptastic universe. We created the world and the basics of our adventure with your feedback and your direction, and you chose for us a crummy world where hope was strong, but where there was some hope to make some changes, at least in the short term. You guys chose vampires as our protagonists, and elves and humans kind of as secondary, right? And you chose elves and humans as our bad guys, which is an interesting twist. We had to play with that. And it's been a lot of fun, and I'm actually very excited about the world that has ended up being created. There may be stories in that world. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. So yeah, it is going to be awesome. Dwarven Bacon! Yeah, Dwarven Bacon has a very different meaning in our craptastic universe. I'm just gonna say that. Yep. Oh, I missed what Sammy said to start with. Me sitting here like summer camp prep? There's summer camp prep? Uh-oh. Yeah, I know, me too, right? And then added, even if it is, I should be doing it for reasons, rebranding my account. Hey, fair enough. Right? I totally get that. I'm intending to move my Sable Aradia website over to World Anvil. I just haven't gotten around to it yet because there's so much going on. Which reminds me, in 1 hour and 45 minutes, we're going to be shutting down the stream temporarily only a couple of minutes. We're going to be going back up with State of the Multiverse. This is mine and Erin's community stream where we tell you what's going on over the next month and what our plans are. There is a lot of information. I was going to skip that stream because we're very, very busy today, but that's why you have to have the stream, right? We need to give you all the information. There's so much. We're going to talk about Conduit this weekend, Writer's Conduit. We're going to talk about the Tourney of Tales. We're going to talk about Summer Camp. We're going to talk about the Kickstarter. And we're going to look towards book release. So stick around to get all that information. That lasts for an hour. After that, shutting down, going back live. And this time it will be Diane Actually Writes, which is my usual Thursday stream. We'll see if I go the full 3 hours or if I quit after 2. I might be exhausted by then. And we're just going to do writing sprints and hang out. It's going to be very chill. I really can use it, so that's what we're going to do. So that's my plan for today. Of course, that's like 5 hours here, so if you need to go and come back, I totally understand. Oh, Sammy's doing a VTubing thing on another account. That's cool. It's just my casual guys, unless I can implode this account. I understand. Ooh. Oh, come on now. Caduceus, you shouldn't have done that then. I appreciate your support, but I would rather you have electricity. That would be better. Remember that you can always change your mind. I don't want anybody to go hungry or in the dark. Hello, Satrium. Good to see you. We're just about to get started here on the world building. So let's see, where will I start today? I'm going to put up the sprint timer. If you haven't been here before and you're not familiar with the format, what we do is we run 15-minute sprint timers with 5-minute breaks. The idea is we work on whatever creative project we're working on during the 15 minutes and then we chat for the 5, although I usually kind of, these days with the phone being here, I babble on and off during the chat, so if that would bother you, please let me know. I will try not to do it during Diane Actually Writes this evening because, yeah, it's distracting. Oh, Dremegkest asks, what do you showcase, critique? And welcome to the channel, by the way, and thank you very much for the follow. I showcase or critique World Anvil articles and bits of short fiction. I'm willing to accept links of up to like 1,500 words for the showcase critique. After that, I ask that you use the get and edit because it will take me about an hour or more to do it. There is a limit of 3 in any given stream, and with this one being 2 hours, I would say there's a limit of 2 during this stream. 2 showcases, or 1 showcase and an edit. That's it, right? I do not do those during the Diane Actually Writes stream, nor during the State of the Multiverse, right? And I already have one in the queue, so if you want the other one, you better get it in pretty quick. But yes, and what I do is I go through it. If I see typos or grammar mistakes, I'll let you know, right? And I will offer, suggestions, feedback, ask questions to make you, hopefully get you thinking about things that I, as a reader or an editor, might want to know more about. And the chat usually also contributes. So it's a great way to get, a lot of eyes on your work and thinking about what you want to do with it if you're looking for suggestions. So, yeah. And we have fun. So, it's cool. Well, okay. All right. And Bob stole it. So that's it, guys. We're out for today. I will, however, be back on... Oh, no, I won't be back this Saturday. I won't be back this Sunday either. I'll be here next Wednesday and Tuesday as well. I'm doing a Kickstarter special stream in the evening. All right, we got Bob's article here. That's great. We have Siobhan's article still holding from yesterday because I didn't get the chance to do it. Let's start with World Anvil blog so I can find out exactly what I am supposed to do in the prep. And in the meantime here, let's see if I have missed anything. Daz says, it's great, Sable, while you're catching up on your homework, which I cheated and didn't do. I will be finishing this combat article. That's great. I can't wait to see your combat article. I cannot wait to see it. Daz says, but the babble and clickety-clacks are inspiring and entertaining when you mutter interesting words. Yes, I suppose I should warn you, if you haven't been here before, I swear. That's why this is a mature channel, because I swear. I like to say that I do it because I'm Canadian, and Canadians, when they're chatting with their friends, tend to swear a lot. When they stop swearing and start acting polite, then you have to worry. It means we're on our best behavior. Yeah. Yeah. I will be back this weekend, but only for Conduit. Yes, that is absolutely right, Siobhan. Go for broke, Eli. Tank top it. Eli says, I have a size small shirt and I'm a size extra large. I have scissors and if needed extra fabric. Do I go off the shoulder tank top it? Go full tank top. You're going to wear a shirt that's a couple sizes too small for you. You want people to be looking at you anyway, right? So, you know, show it off, girl. You know, show it off. Show it off. Yeah. Oh, good morning, Moonflower. How are you today? 3:15 p.m. Hey now, I was born here, Bob. Bob says, isn't 100% Canadian, not nearly enough A's in her conversation. I did have to go through my book and edit all of my A's into Ha's, though, because I figured that it would take people out of the book and make them think that my elves were Canadian, which they're not, so... Show it off. I will, says Eli. Excellent. Excellent. All right, we're going to look at summer camp here. Now, I have read the article. Let's see. Pledge document. Summer camp tips from Ethnos. You know what? I'm going to look at that first, if you guys don't mind, since we're doing the summer camp hype here. Just to have a boo. Ethnos knows what's going on, so I'm going to send the link into the chat so that people who want to follow along. Oh, asymmetrical off the shoulders, also nice. Also nice, yep. Okay. Preparation. Cultivate a good mindset with a healthy expectation of how long it may take you to complete an article. So, the long ones take me 3 days during summer camp, so I have to sacrifice some occasionally. Yeah, it all starts with the pledge document. Okay, fine. I'll do it in order. But it's just... Yeah. Aim for that goal, whether it's 10 prompts or all 31. You know what? I'm gonna go for diamond. But I'm going to not be hard on myself if I don't make it. Because there's so much else going on this month that I might just burn out. Right, so, and I'm going to be kind to myself if I do. That's going to be okay. Yeah. How many articles? Let's focus on what they're going to be about. Write yourself a pledge. You know, I never try to anticipate the prompts beforehand because I find that I have more difficulty changing gears than just responding spontaneously to whatever happens to show up, right? So... Yep. Drama is am diamond or die! Good for you. That's great. Definitely, you know, this is a great challenge. Moonflower says, if you burn out, then keep working. We're going to smother you with hugs. That's awesome. Siobhan says, also, I'm hoping to make diamond, but I may need to pull out and take Sable with me. Yeah, that's the other thing. Siobhan might have surgery later this month. If she does, whatever point that happens, that's it. I promised Siobhan I would be her support person for that. And, you know, and I'm out, right? I'll poke at it while I'm waiting for things around the medical system if I have time. Otherwise, nah, because, you know, because friends first. Friends first. Diamond or disintegrate, says Delian. Awesome. Sammy says, I want to do as many things as possible, but I'm probably going to fall asleep. James is copper or rust. That's awesome. If I make copper, I will be satisfied with myself this time. Alright, where's the pledge here? Let's start with that. World building pledge document. Summer camp. Alright. What's the goal? Make summer camp work for us. Help us figure out which world or worlds we work on. No, I know that. Also, great time to decide about how much of a world building summer camp you're hoping to complete. What project are they tied to? Summer camp is about helping us achieve our goals. Are we writing a novel or short stories? Are we preparing for an RPG campaign? The prompts are a great chance to expand details around an RPG campaign or novel setting. Deciding which project you're supplementing will help you get the most out of summer camp. Yep. Which world are we working on? Now we know what project. We can write down the world we'll be working on. This will help you focus, stop you from getting overwhelmed. According to the rules of the challenge, you can work on as many worlds as you like, but we recommend working on 1 or 2 worlds maximum. Yeah, that makes sense. Last year I tried to divide the prompts evenly between my 2 worlds. Okay. Technically, I guess now I've got about 7 because I've got editing privileges on a few, and, you know, Game of Tomes, if you count that as its own world, right, is... Okay, no, so more like 10. They're spreading, Moon. They're breeding. Anyway, I'm talking to Moon, because Moon has 39 worlds. Oh my god. But, yeah, so my main settings are, of course, the Toy Soldier Saga and the Weird West. And I split the prompts 50-50 last time. That worked pretty well. I ended up being kind of rushed at the end, but I did get something out for every single one of the prompts. So I did make Diamond. This year it's going to be primary focus on Toy Soldier Saga with excursions into the World Builders Roundtable project. Both because we're going to be doing streams related to that, and because I'm, like, you know, I'll need a place to go if I'm stuck in the Toy Soldier Saga, right? Eli says, second thing second, how much fabric, if any, do I need to add? I guess I should try on my new tank top for it. Yes, you should. Yep, Moonflower told me. They warned me. Which area of the world am I working on? Ha ha ha! This is space opera, baby! I have a whole universe! Okay, I don't actually really. I've got known space. Known space consists of about 13 star systems. So, that's what I'm working on. And it'll depend what I freaking need. I will, however, prioritize the needs of the story, and I will prioritize them in terms of if I must choose between things, I will choose what relates to the first book first. So there we go. How much am I aiming? Like I said, I'm going to be kind to myself today. When will I write? Prep materials, how fast I type, schedule your writing blocks in your calendar or a diary. Well, anytime I'm on screen here, I'll be working on it. The only problem with that, of course, is that I also do showcases, right? So I've got to divide the time between showcasing and writing. Who is my support network? Well, you guys, of course. Duh. Yeah. Yeah, list to draw on when I'm inspired. Okay, homework assignment. Create a generic article. Let's go. I think I'll open a new window. Ooh, teleportation rubber tree. I'm gonna have to read that article later. Neat. Alright, dashboard. And I guess I'm gonna have to create a summer camp. Oh, I do still have a summer camp folder, and I still have articles in it that aren't finished. Alright, so... You know what? Step number 1 is, we're going to take this. No, we're going to go to articles and categories, and we're going to change the title of this folder to Summer Camp. Come on now. There we go. As opposed to Summer Camp 2020. Because... okay, there's all that stuff to finish. Hehe. Alright. Summer Camp 2020, 2021. You know what? Let's just be realistic. I'm going to end up with unfinished documents from this too, aren't I? Alright, so that's the first step. Dashboard. The pile of articles in need of cleanup shall grow, Sable. Yes, Daz, you're absolutely right. Yeah, world building for people with ADHD, right? Jump around between like 4 worlds. I feel you, Moon. Alright, so what are we calling this? It's going to be called... this. Let's be lazy. Actually, this doesn't fit too bad, says Eli. I was half planning to crop the bottom, but I could just keep it like this if I wanted. I do still like the idea of an asymmetric off-the-shoulder crop top, though. Yup. Yup, says Moon, and they really did breed. Siobhan's like, oh, I know that feeling. Also, the number of stubs will grow, yes. Sammy says, oh gosh, I feel it, and I don't officially have ADHD. Yes. Oh yeah, here we are. By the way, another thing we're going to be talking about today is that we are doing an epic team-up with Eli Quake and Basic Dragon. That'll be on July 3rd, and we're going to talk all about it later. But they both have Kickstarters. Basic Dragons is fully funded, and now they're working towards some stretch goals, which is awesome. They're kind of in the winding down period of their Kickstarter. Eli's will have started 2 days before we do the stream. Mine will be about halfway through. We're going to tell you why you should support us all. Stubs are like rabbits, they breed. Well, I suppose it makes sense that the mother of bunnies has a whole bunch of plot bunny stubs and articles, right? Yeah. Let's just be honest here. Alright. You know what? I said I was putting up the sprint timer, didn't I? So let's do that. There we go. Now. Okay. Following headers and answer the questions. Let's just be lazy and copy paste those directly. All right. Because Kickstarter for my toy soldier saga universe. That will be the primary focus of my world building for summer camp. If you guys are doing work on summer camp or anything else that, you know, your creative project, let me know in the chat and feel free to work along with me. Primary focus of my world building for summer camp 2021. I will also be working on material for the world builders around. You know what? There's a world clicky thing. Let's do that instead, it's easier. World Builders Roundtable. Oh, that's a summary. I want the world. Okay, well, whatever. Not switched. God damn it. Okay. Let's go to view world. I love this graphic, by the way. I just absolutely love this graphic. Notice the Hero Forge versions of ourselves. More or less in our streaming characters, right? Sammy says, I'm trying not to do a secret... I'm trying to do a not secret project and a secret project while also checking World Anvil things and trying not to explode. Fair enough. Oh, hey, Natalia says, sorry again for the shameless self-plug, now up for pre-order. Yes, check this out, guys. This is cool, and I love to celebrate stuff that goes on in the community. Okay, you know what? Actually, I'm going to put this up, but I'm going to look at it properly during the chat break in a couple of minutes. But I am very excited about this project, and I really want to encourage you guys to go watch her preview video. It's awesome. Okay, in the meantime, I am here because I am looking for the world link. Where the fuckity fuck is it? Sorry. Not on the front page. Okay, fine. Dashboard. Sammy says, I don't know how not to do too many things at once. Can't help you. I am the poster child, okay? Sorry. I wish I could help you. I cannot help you. I am no good at this at all. Where the heck do I find the linky thing that gives me the world link? Masadi says, I started a Ko-Fi goal for a crafty thing, or coffee goal. Man, that was a lot more work than I expected. Awesome, Masadi's. Definitely check out Masadi's streams if you haven't seen them already. If you don't know her, she is a World Anvilite. She is a participant in the Game of Tomes, right? She also does a lot of really interesting fabric arts and crafts on her channel, which are freaking amazing. I am waiting for OBS to respond. It does not like me right now. I hope I'm not getting dead stream. No, I'm not. Okay, good. There we go. Yeah, Sammy's like, it's okay. I'm doing everything. Yep. How goes, guys? I'm exhausted already. The weekend hasn't started, but I'm having a great time. How are you? Kayetan says, storms all over Poland. In Lesser Poland region, there was even a whirlwind tornado. Yikes. Generally, tornado is bigger than a whirlwind and has faster winds. That's the difference between them. There, Kayetan, how we use them here. Right? So... yeah, I'm trying to get my Etsy shop up, but I need more funds. Being poor sucks. Can really... Sammy's like, same hat. Alright! Way to go for overdoing it, partners. Okay, I still need my linky. Why can I not find the world link? Where do they put it? I almost never look for this, so this is why I have no idea. I thought it was here. On the world page, but I can't find it. I thought it was like down at the bottom. So it was a whirlwind, probably. Fair enough, but still left damage. Luckily, it wasn't in my city, says Kayetan. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, well, it could have been a tornado. Whirlwinds tend to be more nuisances and tornadoes tend to be like damage. Yeah, and this is places that you're not used to getting tornadoes, right? Like, we're getting tornadoes now in kind of central Canada around the area of the Great Lakes. And I don't remember that happening in my lifetime until like a couple years ago, 5-10 years ago. Welcome to climate change. Masadi says getting hyped up for Conduit. Yes, me too. It's under something in world settings. Settings, right hand side. Bless your heart. I have too many of them. Thank you very much. Okay, we will go to world settings. Yeah, I almost never use this because I tend to keep my worlds pretty separate, but it's important. Right? Okay. World widgets. That's what I'm after, isn't it? That's what I'm after. Okay. I'm going to leave that up. And, oh, no, that's the wrong page. I'm going to have to switch back to another World Anvil window. Okay, I'm starting to open a lot of windows, guys, so if the stream starts bogging down, just let me know. Yeah, they are pretty rare here, says Catty Town. Yep. I bet you aren't you used to the Moonflower? Ask Catty Town, that's great. Masadi says, I bet you Conduit streamers are hella stressed right now as it looms, though. Yeah, so there's a lot of things we're going to do different next year in the planning, I'm just saying. I mean, it's going to be amazing. It all came together. People have worked very hard. We're going to talk about it more in a couple hours, or an hour and 15 minutes at State of the Multiverse. But the planning committee is definitely overwhelmed. I think the streamer, but I mean, that's normal, right? Like, especially when it's the first time that you set up anything. I've done a lot of event planning in my life, mostly volunteer stuff for nerd communities, right? And it's always like this, especially when the event is brand new, because you got to build the infrastructure and you got to reinvent the wheel, because everybody's got to use a different wheel because all people are different. So the first year is usually a scramble of insanity, and then the next few years are great, right? For those of you who were here for the first Game of Tomes in November will remember I was scrambling then too, but it still got done, and it was still great, and we're still doing Game of Tomes events, so it worked out, right? But yeah, between that and everything else I got going on, I am a little under the weather. I'm very excited. It's worth it. It's totally worth it. And I think we're finally done, right? I think we're finally done sending out the information that needs to be sent to the people it's needed to be sent to. We just finished personal schedules this morning. There, of course, will be at least one catastrophic failure, because that you expect that at events, but otherwise it's going to be good. It's going to be freaking awesome, actually, guys. Let's see here. Yeah, Moonflower says, oh yeah, I'm used to them. The damage doesn't even make us flinch, but they've been getting bigger lately. Yep. Video was getting choppy. Is it better now? It looks okay in my monitor. Oh my god, that sigh. It was all fuck my life. I'm okay. We're like I said, we're done now, and all we have to do is run the event. It'll either work or it won't. It's pretty much out of my hands at this point. Let the gods do as they will, right? Kit Felbo says, my plan is to show up early-ish and hope to get onto the panel and then the workshop smoothly. That was awesome. Yeah, I have actually put enough time between the things that I'm streaming and the panels that I'm going to be on, for the most part, that if you are on one of the panels on my channel, I will be available half an hour beforehand, the full half an hour beforehand to get set up. I will be using Google Meet by preference because it has closed captioning that is integrated. If you really cannot figure out Google Meet, I will default to Discord, but I would really prefer to use Google Meet. I will send you a link. We will test your sound, we will make it work, and we will have a good time, right? I love panel discussions. I'm not bad at encouraging them. I think I ask good questions. I've got a lot of experience with podcasting. So, you know, don't stress. We're going to be good. I feel very confident in our ability to handle that. Masadi says I was totally thinking Game of Tones. Well, I can't wait till it's all done and you get a few days of rest. I couldn't sleep now if I wanted to be honest. I'm so excited that I just can't sleep. So. Oh, changes are not saving on World Anvil right now? Uh-oh. I was wondering why I didn't see the blinky thing. I guess I'm not closing down any pages then. Shit. Alright. Okay, I am here because I am switching to... We're back to the Toy Soldier Saga world. I've had that happen before, Bob, says Daz. I usually have to close World Anvil and then restart. Yeah. Masadi says, we really appreciate all the hard work. Just keep that in mind. It's cool. I'm happy to do it. I love doing it. I wouldn't do it if I didn't like it. You know? I just wish everything wouldn't happen all at once. It's my only thing, right? And it does, because everybody does stuff in the summer, right? So if it didn't happen all at once, we'd be golden. But it's okay. It's going to be great. Eli says, I might message you later for a brief intro to Google Meets. Yeah. Okay. Happy to do it. No problem. Kayetan says, Google Meet is easy. I'm almost an expert after the whole years of lectures through it. Yeah, it really is actually very easy. Let me show you. Let me do it. Okay, you fire up a blank Google page. Which is not loading properly. Okay. There you go. You click on, where is it? That doodad, I think? No. Hold on. I don't think it's fully loaded yet. There it is. Okay, so when this thing appears, this little set of dots right here in the upper right-hand corner, it will appear next to your profile picture on the page itself, not up in the browser, but in the page, right, where it says your Google account, and you click on that. Right next to it, you'll see a little square of dots. Looks like a Merlin keyboard if you're old enough to remember those. You click on that. It'll give you this menu. You click on this if you're setting up a meeting, right? Now, what will happen here is that when I'm setting up a meeting, I go, that's the sprint for those of you who are working. If you're working on something, share what you're working on and how far you've gone. Okay, you click on New Meeting. You can either create a meeting for later or start an instant meeting, right? Either way, right? Let's start an instant meeting just because I'm showing. This might make my browser bog down for a minute because it's going to try to access my camera. Yeah, I figured it would. Okay, and now that we've clicked on that, if my camera weren't being used by OBS, then you would see you can see it's using my, probably using my headset mic, right? I've got Google Meet, right? Yeah, I know, it's because I'm streaming, shut up. Okay, so this is where, if you're not showing your face, it'll blink when you're talking. If it is showing your face, it'll show your face if it's accessing your camera, which it would do if I were not doing OBS, right? And then you click on this link right there. With that, copy the link, and then you send that where it needs to go. And then when people just click on the link and they head in to the meeting, and it works just like Zoom or any of the other video platforms you have already seen. Simple enough. I love it because it's point here and click stupid. And I heard a dingy thing. Hello, Sharing Forge. Good to see you. How have you been? I haven't been to your streams lately because they tend to be at weird times for me personally, but I thank you so much for the raid and I really appreciate the support. Are you excited about Conduit this weekend? Because I sure as hell am. Oh, and look, we got a whole bunch of people coming in. This is great. That took a hot minute, but raid. Twitch is twitchy. We all know, right? We have a first-time chatter. Well, yeah, actually, Sharon Forge is chatting. You haven't been here before. Well, welcome. Yeah, this is kind of my hyped-up version of my writer stream where I'm talking a mile a minute. I'm doing some work on World Anvil right now, which I'm preparing for their summer camp world building challenge. I do most of my writing and work on World Anvil, so that's why I'm doing that. Yeah. Hello, Guacamole. Good to see you. Glad you can make it back. Oh, hello, Charlie Writer. Welcome to the channel. Charlie E. Writer, I guess it is. Yeah, I typically do writing streams on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Wednesdays and Sundays, they start at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UTC, so 9 p.m. in the UK. And then Thursday, it starts an hour later, so 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UTC, or 10 p.m. in the UK. So, yeah. And we do word sprints. We're currently on a break. I babble. I'll shut up if you'd rather work. The one where I'm doing focus sprints, where I try not to be as chatty, is Thursday, which is called Diane Actually Writes. And because Diane writes, mostly Diane talks. But Diane also goes through your articles and your short fiction on that stream, so we share and give feedback. Sammy says, I'm super hyped for Conduit, and I also have an RPG game thing on Saturday. Awesome. Charlie says, what is World Anvil? I've never been here before either. World Anvil is a world-building utility software. I'm going to give the link in the chat. And it was designed by a gamer for a writer, initially. It tends to be used a lot in the RPG world, and you've probably seen commercials associated with that on YouTube and whatnot, but it was designed for writers, and it's designed to help you categorize your world building. First of all, now there's a writing software. It looks like this. Sorry, things are slow to load. I have like the tab army right now because I'm working on a million projects. That, by the way, is the get back to work growl from the Dragon of Productivity. If you're sprinting, he's demanding sacrifices of production. So if you are working on a creative project, feel free to share. We'd love to hear what you're working on. Yeah, so this is the writing software. It's called Manuscripts. It's available to guild members of Master Plus, so it's a paid subscription as part of an overall product. I would have paid the subscription for this alone, but the fact that all the world building stuff is included makes it just kick-ass. It's basically like the best of Scrivener, Word, and Google Docs with almost none of the headaches. So you can organize things in scenes. It's got a very straightforward word processor with none of the bullshit that Word puts on it to confuse things, and it autosaves. So, but you have to actually have a keystroke. If you copy paste, make sure you hit a key right afterwards so that it'll autosave. And you can export it into HTML, or you can then modify to EPUB or doc format or docx format or whatever you want from there. So I love it. This is an article that is published on World Anvil by one of the people in the chat. This is her new book release that she is sharing with us. It's got themes that you can use to... Oh, we have a new trailer. Ah, shit, Natalia, I'm gonna have to look at your trailer now. Your new trailer, that's great. Yes, it's it's got themes and menu stuff that just automatically sets itself up. Natalia is Dutch, so she has versions in both English and Dutch for people to read, which I think is amazing. Why are you not? Okay. It is slow to respond, but it's a thing. Right. This is what the editing stuff looks like. There are all kinds of templates to help you design your articles specifically towards things that you might need it for. Like there's a character template which asks you specific questions about your character that you can choose to use or not to flesh it out, right? There's a military conflict template. There's a geography template. There is a building template. There's organization templates, right? So you can build your, Church of Evil God, or your political organization, or your nation's government, whatever, right? So just, and the community is absolutely kick-ass and probably the nicest place on the internet. So yeah, there's my sales pitch for World Anvil. No, they don't pay me. More like I pay them. So. Alright, so what did I miss while I was babbling? Oh, and hello, Rowan. I didn't see you sneak in. Good to see you. Chipmunk Sable talking a mile a minute. Yeah, I sound like Elvin and the Chipmunks. Christmas, Christmas time is here. Okay. Sammy says I'm probably going to stay awake all Friday and Saturday. I scheduled myself 8 hours to sleep, but I don't expect I will be doing much of it. I will, however, rest. I did promise I would do that. Make you write a paragraph. Okay, Kayetan. Thank you. I will do that as soon as I'm caught up here. Mez says, hello, Mez. Says 6 windows with about 20 tabs here. Yeah. Yes, because he's also on the Conduit Planning Committee. Yes. Sammy says, semi-serious writing inquiry. Have any of you experienced a weird imposter syndrome variant where you feel like you can't possibly continue / finish words you've already written? Yes. Yes, I have. And my advice for that is leave it, come back to it in a couple days. If that doesn't work, leave it, come back to it in a couple weeks. If that doesn't work, leave it and come back to it in a couple months. You're probably, okay, you're either overthinking it in terms of you don't like what's coming out and you think it's not sounding anything like what it is in your head. So give it some space, because chances are you're being too hard on yourself. And then when you come back to it, if you need to rewrite it, you'll probably have a fresh perspective, right? And the second option is that you don't really know where you're going to go next with that particular project. So take a break, work on something else, come back to it, and again, you have a fresh perspective. So that's what I do to deal with it. I don't know if that's going to be any help. I'm going to have to get master rank eventually, says Sammy. I really do recommend it. I really do recommend it. I love it. What word bullshit, says Kayetan. They've got a lot of desktop publishing stuff that's available. Things like, little formatting tricks and how you want the layout, and they're adding graphics to it, which is a really, really badly designed interface, and 100 million fonts, and it's just stuff you don't need when you're working on a manuscript. And most of it is obsolete nowadays anyway. Most people do publishing through PDF, EPUB, or Mobi, and Word doesn't do any of them well, right? You're better off using Calibra to format that stuff once you have a basic document. So you don't need any of that stuff. You do need stuff like headers, footers, like you need different text types, paragraph formatting, lists, an easier way to add a graphic, stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of stuff in Word that's just confusing to have on the screen that doesn't serve any functional purpose to 99% of writers. All right, Sammy's going to work on the secret project first. Bob says, interesting. It's something to do with the related session field on the session report. When I fill it out, the article won't save. Okay, so... oh, I'll check the dingy thing here. Someone's obviously trying to get my attention. Ah, thank you for following, Guacamole. Awesome. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, I'm kind of like this, except I usually talk less fast. So we have fun here. I probably won't be talking less fast all July, because we're going to do Game of Tomes. We're going to talk about that. Yeah, okay, so Bob, I ran into that error with other article templates before, and what had happened was that the field, it's a drop-down menu, right? The field is configured to refer to the wrong article template, right? So it's trying to use like a geography template, and you're using a plot, right? Or putting a session report in there. Definitely submit a bug report to Dimitri. He will want to know that. Once he gets it, it will only take him a minute or two to fix. He just probably didn't notice yet because other people aren't being as thorough about their session reports as you. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. I ran into this with 2 or 3 different article types after the last format. And in the meantime, just don't put anything in that field and save everything else. Yeah. Kid Philbo says, I'm not sure if I should use a translation profit share service to create other versions of my books. That's a thing? I didn't know that was a thing. Maybe. I can't give you any advice because I didn't know that was a thing. I've been making deals with friends. Cayetan says, yeah, and I agree, yes, and World Anvil has the nicest Discord in the world. Why don't they pay you? You're so good for them. You know what they pay me with? They pay me with support, right? The stream that started, they just did their community stream before my stream. They raided into my channel with like, 90 some people. They have been promoting my Kickstarter on their channel, right? Yeah, don't worry. They've got me covered. They got me covered. They're good people. It's a great community. I don't need their money. Their support is worth a lot more to me. Yeah. Rowan was agreeing, but no, I get paid in a lot more value than cash. That is a fact. Mez says, I assume that my position on the committee is why there's a sword next to my name now. Yep, I went ahead and did all of the moderator permissions for the planning committee just in case it was needed. I doubt it will be. I actually have my own moderators scheduled in shifts to cover the streams we are doing. So they were really kind to sign up for that. I appreciate it. So I shouldn't need you, but you have the power if you feel you need to, or if something happens, right? Okay, I'm going to stop here and do the writing that I'm supposed to be doing. Because the writing was redeemed. Hello, Gorkum. Good to see you. Oh, yes, Bob, that would do it. I think I know why I'm having the problem. I'm trying to tie 2 session reports to the same session. Yeah, I'd probably put those in, like, key value links in the sidebar then. Yeah. Aha! Rowan is going to write a tidbit for further in the book series or this book, depending on where it will go. Rowan impatiently waiting. I got distracted by the Game of Tomes link. I want in. Go here to this thingy right here. This was created by the wonderful and amazing Satrium, who is developing an automatic word counting system and sign up for Game of Tomes streaming here, if you want to stream, that is, right? And that's where you sign up. Also, we have dedicated Game of Tones channels in a section on my Discord near the bottom of the list of channels. That's the link. Just once you're in, scroll down. There's like 4 of them. You probably can see 3, and we chat about Game of Tones, and we'd love to have you because it's fun. Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, no, that's not what I needed. Where is what I needed? That's it. I'll also be working on material for the did I copy the link or did I screw it up? Let's copy it again to be sure. For the World Builders Roundtable in dedicated streams and when I cannot make the mental connection between toy soldier and prompt. There, so I have a fallback. And it would make sense for me to link my Kickstarter there, wouldn't I? Those of you who are new to the channel, I also have a Kickstarter going on right now. You see what I mean about too many damn things that I'm doing, but there's the link if you want to check it out. And we're almost funded. We have 21 days to go, so we are 1/3 of the way in. We have made 3,453 Canadian dollars out of a $3,690 goal. That is 93.5% funded or something like that. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Yeah. 2 gaming addicts plotting, oh the mayhem, says Daz. Rowan's like, yes, it is almost like gaming, but with less dice and rules and more talk. Co-writing is fun. I like co-writing too. Especially if you're doing it in the fashion in which you are doing it. Alright, so we're going to put my Kickstarter link here, is what we're going to do. URL. I should probably link to the challenge page. World Anvil Summer Camp 2021. That's all I need. And that's the sprint, gang. Eli's taking apart their clothes. Bob says, yeah, it's a weird situation. The party finished 1 adventure and started a 2nd, and I've been trying to keep my session reports tied to the scripts that drove them, so I tried to split last night's report into 2 parts. Got it. Am I caught up now? I think I am. Then it's a race to the stretch goals after that. That's right. If you guys want to know what my stretch goals are, is that at $5,000 I will make an ebook, or not an ebook, an audio book, right? And I think I will still have to go through ACX, which is the Audible plugin for that, right? Because it's not quite enough to pay a professional reader. We'll see though. We'll see though, because I'll talk to Kahuna and see what we can arrange, because I'd rather give my money to friends. You know, if my friends and my community members are competent at the job and can do what I need them to do, I would rather give the money to them so that we can all benefit, right? You got to pay somebody, you might as well pay your friends. So we'll try that. At $7,000, we will record an audiobook format that will be available on all platforms, and then I will for sure pay a professional reader, likely Kahuna, to read it. And at $7,500, that audiobook will include licensed or commissioned music as well. So that is the plan. All right. So I was going to link that to, not this one, but this one. Okay, and after this, we're going to start doing some of the showcases because we have been at this for a while. And it is 1:15, so if I want to get on with things, I'd better be doing it. I'm also going to try to get this done by the end of the stream. Let's see if I can. Alright, so that's that for now. Let's do that to make sure it's saved. We're going to take a momentary break in the music, gang. And for some reason, this page is not responding, so I'm going to have to reload it. But yeah. Moon, just don't read the session reports, says Bob. Moon promises that they're not. Daz says, patience is a virtue, Rowan, because Rowan's talking about downsides being waiting for your co-writer to finish the other half of what you're working on. Yep. Those are awesome stretch goals, says Daz. I'm really hoping that they work out. I really want this to be an audiobook, and I can start kind of hoping for that now, right? I think it'd be a good story. I think it'd be fun to listen to. Yeah, if I want to get on with shit, things. Classic. Yeah, totally. I'm trying not to swear as much. Okay, so we're going to shut down my music here for a moment because we've seen one of Natalia's trailers. We watched this one yesterday and I recommended her Nova Babylon trailer. I found it very moving, really good. This is her trailer about her characters. We are going to full screen that. John wasn't. I hope Johanna isn't either. Are we getting major lag? Alright, sorry about the lag, guys. Looks like it got better when I made the picture smaller. Next time I'll remember to take my face out of it. So I probably got about a 30-second lag on the stream now. But there is... Oh, no, it did not save for some reason. Okay. You know what? Why don't I do this way? There is the article link. Go watch the trailers. They're awesome. I love the synthwave music, by the way, Natalia. That is really cool. Spacey synthwave stuff. It's awesome. Really cool. We're going to turn that off now. Going to turn that off now. Tell you what I'm going to do, gang. I'm going to take a momentary break for a bio, and I'm going to put my break screen up and shut off my camera for a minute. That usually lets the stream catch up a little bit when I do run into problems. So I'll see you in just a moment. It won't be long. It says 15 minutes on the timer. The timer is a lie. It'll be like 5. I'll be right back. Alright. So I'm back. I'll turn my camera back on when I find it. There it is. Alright, did the stream get a chance to catch up a little bit? Hopefully it did. I had to grab coffee and make some more anyway. So, alright. Where are we here? Oh, another storm for Moon. That sucks. Yeah, it's been hot and muggy and threatening to thunderstorm, and I was like, oh good, please rain. Except that it only rained for like 10 minutes last night, and then it stopped. It was like pouring rain for 10 minutes, and then it went away. Sad. Sadness. Oh, there's another world? Yeah, 40 worlds? World building in your sleep, Moon? Yeah, pretty much. I see. Have not been sleeping well. Might be starting work when you're half asleep. Moon is so obsessed with world building they can't even take a break to get proper sleep. Oh. Eli did a shirt. I'm looking. This is your fault if you didn't want me to see it. You shouldn't have shared it in the chat. That is awesome. That is awesome. You look great. That is cool. Good for you. Hell yeah. See? Show it off. Show it off. You got it? You flaunt it. Looks great. Yeah, coffee good. Coffee is how I function today. Coffee is both how I concentrate and how I stay awake. Alright, we're gonna start some showcases because we got about half an hour left here. Let's start with the one that was holding over from yesterday, which is Francine Duplan, which is Siobhan's character article. I seem to have about a 30-second lag, which is fine. I can function with that, but if I don't respond to you right away, you know why. I will try to keep an eye on the chat and make sure that I don't be too behind here. I love the picture. She is very pretty, and that's neat. Alright. Francine Duplan. Seamstress. She, her. I like the fact that character articles now firmly include pronouns as a separate field. That's great. Not bad for taking a too small shirt and making it fit. No, it looks good. It looks good. And it's good, you know, good clothes for the weather there. Okay. Current location, Herodburg. Species, Fae. Ethnicity, forest nymph. Honorary and occupational titles, lady. Age, 468. Biological sex, female. Eyes, dark forest green. Skin tone, pale green with darker veining. You need to do some graphic alterations on these pictures in order to make it match, but, you know, or get someone else to, but it looks good. Height, 5 feet 7 inches, weight 102 pounds. Quotes and catchphrases. Measure twice, cunt once. If something is worth doing, it is worth doing right the first time. Mistakes make waste. Yo, and suffixes. Indeed, suffixes are good. Dr. Bloblerg, PhD, for example. Yeah, that's a good one for sure. That's the sprint, for those of you who are sprinting. Like your pictures, by the way. Seamstress Francine Duplan, she, her. Like most nymphs, Francine enjoys the art of clothes making. She wears some of the finest gowns in the land as she has crafted them herself. She is of the opinion that this is the only way to truly advertise her work. And that makes sense, you know? If you don't support what you're doing, nobody else will in a creative field. It's true. You gotta believe in yourself. Right? When she's working in her shop, she rarely wears anything as she still finds clothes to be constricting, comma, and thus, only wears them when she knows she is going to have a customer coming for a fitting or measurements. I would do it like this. When she's working in her shop, she rarely wears anything. Period. Capital S. She still finds clothes to be constricting and thus, comma, only wears them when she knows she is going to have a customer coming for a fitting or measurements. Her rooms are always locked, so there are no accidents. Though her gowns are exquisite, the ones she crafts for herself are designed to be put on quickly. May I advise that so there are no accidents or accidents be under a tool tip? right? I know you've already got an article about forest nymphs where you explained that seeing them naked can strike people blind, but you need to put that, I think, as a tooltip here so that if someone has not read your article on forest nymphs, they will be aware of that fact, right? So just put that in there either around so there are no accidents or no accidents, insert a tooltip and have the tooltip say, forest nymphs can strike mortals blind who see them naked, right? And that would make sense then, and you would not need that. Oh, hey, I just noticed you did a flashy thing around the menu too. Looks good. I love your triple knot trefoil. Looks great. Okay. Francine, though she seems to be a recluse, is anything but. Her rooms are for herself and her daughter, Rose Diplom. They work as a team while crafting dresses. Rose is Francine's apprentice as well as her daughter. These are very nice pictures, and this is a very pretty woman. Daz says, Sable, I will simply carry over my points from the article. There was no time for after Siobhan's article, Francine's daughter, for this combat article when you have time. Oh, did you spend the thing and I forgot? I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. That will have to wait till Wednesday now. Daz, when you come in, if you've already done that and it's in my queue, please, when you first show up in the stream on Wednesday, or no, I could do it Tuesday night too. If you make it on the later Tuesday night stream or the Wednesday stream, poke me right away. Sable, reminder, my showcase is waiting. Awesome. And then I'll do it. I apologize. Like I said, bit too much on the plate at the moment. Mental characteristics. Personal history. Francine was raised in a small village in the Feywilds. When she reached the age of 195, she left her village to explore the world. She made her way to Herodburg, where she set up a small dress shop. She began building her reputation as a seamstress. Why? Why did she decide to set up a dress shop? She left her village to explore the world. She went to this city and set up a dress shop. I get that making clothes is something that is culturally important to forest nymphs. You mentioned that at the beginning of the article. But why did she decide to go there and set up a dress shop? Was it because she needed money? Right? Was it because she looked around at the clothes all around her and said, well, these mortals have like crap for seamstresses, I can do better? You know, let us know. I could totally see the latter based on what I know about this person, so that might work. But yeah, let me know. As her reputation grew, she was invited to the royal palace to craft gowns for the queen. Queen Eowyn decided that she wanted Francine close at hand whenever she wanted a new gown. With this decision was the invitation to move into the palace proper with a full suite of rooms to herself, and a stipend. This was so Francine would be on call for orders without needing to be sent for. Makes sense? That's to get back to work, Grell, for those of you sprinting. She needed money and found the clothing wanting. Perfect. In that case, just put that in there, right? And a little brief, one sentence is sufficient, just so we know why she chose to send it. Because the way it's phrased, you can't tell whether she went there for a purpose, or if she just happened to settle there because, or if she decided on it after. It just, you're not sure why she's there, that's all. Francine had nothing to spend her stipend on, since everything she needed was covered by her living arrangements. You're being kind of redundant here, and I'm trying to figure out a way to make it less so. Let's see. These new living arrangements made sure she lacked for nothing. So Francine spent her stipend buying cloths of different varieties, styles, and weights. There, something like that. She made notes of where each bolt of cloth came from. This was, remember that your tense must agree, this was because she was not always capable of examining the bolt before purchasing it. When she found inferior cloth in her collection, comma, she would remove the merchant or merchanting house from her list of suppliers. Her most notable and reliable merchanting house is Daz and Pooh Trading. Awesome. I forgot about that article until just now. Incidentally, if this is your first time to the channel, this is my sort of semi-advanced class of critique and showcase. Siobhan is a serious writer, but relatively new, and I'm nitpicking, right? I would not necessarily do that if you're a newer writer. Let me know what level of critique you're looking for when you submit a showcase, and I'll, I don't want to discourage anybody, but I am being particularly hard on Siobhan, right? Also, Daz and Pooh refer to people in our community. Daz is, of course, Daz Lacat, who I've been calling Daz since she showed up, and Pooh is P2 Pooh2. So, yeah, I think that's great. Okay. She gave birth to her daughter 112 years after moving into the palace. Her daughter is now 116 years old. Okay, so there's a big missing piece here, and you know what it is. And that is, when did she have a relationship? Was it a one-night stand? Who was the father? How did this person not go blind? Right? So I realize that's a bit of a spoiler. You might want to include it and put it in a spoiler tag, or you might want to say briefly, after a brief relationship or a one-night stand, whatever it was, right? Francine gave birth to her daughter after moving into the palace, right? No. Daz says, repurposing old clothes is always neat. I agree. Waste not, want not, and all that jazz. My jeans all eventually become cut-off shorts. I mean, it's the standard. Yes, rip my work is so helpful, says Daz. I rip Daz too. I do, because she wants me to. All right. Francine has... Is this an excerpt from your book? Because this needs some ripping. If this is part of your book, first of all, decide whether or not you're talking in present or past tense. You can only pick one. That is the first one. We've been over this, Siobhan. I know we've had this conversation before. Right? Make the tenses agree. You cannot have Francine has caught Rose sitting by the window and hated the thought of having to have the talk and was still. Right? You must decide on a tense. Pick one, stick to it. Right? Okay, second one. We've been over this. Do not break the sentence in the middle of the sentence with the period, which, again, we have going on. Rose, again, I know I've lectured you about this too. Okay, Francine has caught Rose sitting by the window looking out at the young guards during weapons and parade practice, the odd sigh escaping her lips. The odd sigh escaping her lips. What? If you're going to break that up in the middle of the sentence, you need to determine what is also happening while the odd sigh is escaping her lips. Now, I assume that you intended it to be that the odd sigh was escaping her lips while she was watching the weapons and parade practice, but you don't tell me that because you broke the sentence in the middle with the period. Okay. So this is the advanced rip. Why? Because A, we've had this conversation before. B, because, and a few times now. If you bring me this while I'm editing, I'm going to send it back to you, right? That's what I'm telling you, right? Because we've talked about this. Okay. No, it is not. Okay. Well, that's good. All right. I'm sort of teasing you, but I'm not teasing you about if I get this in an edit, I'm going to send it back because you know to fix this, right? So please watch for this, right? And then, when you fix that, send the edit back and I'll do it, right? But, yes, that is not a sentence. Also, you're not the only person who does it, right? I would like to point that out. It's a flaw that you fixed it. Excellent. It's something that a lot of people in the community do, and I've tried to go over it. I find it difficult. I think I'm finding it difficult to communicate effectively what I mean, right? Is that what the problem is? It's not making any sense to people? I tried to get out Strunk and White, but they're not much more helpful, right? They say, where am I here? It's under elementary rules of usage. I think it was rule number 19 or something. No, it's earlier than that. Where is the sentence structure thing? Because they weren't very helpful either. Right? Do not break sentences in two, rule number 6. They don't really explain why that's breaking in a sentence. Maybe there's something earlier that I can use that helps to determine what a sentence is, because and you guys are funny in the chat. I am kind of in full mom mode, I'm sorry. Okay, so okay, why? Why is the odd sigh escaping her lips not a sentence? It's because it doesn't have a complete action, right? The odd sigh escaping her lips, right? We have no action. We have a description of what is happening during the action, but we don't have the action. You either have to connect it, right? Or you could say this and it would work. Francine had caught Rose sitting by the window, or Francine caught Rose sitting by the window looking out at the young guards during weapons and parade practice. The odd sigh escaped her lips. Then it becomes an action, right? The action is escaped, right? The sigh, yeah, right? But when it's left like escaping, it's like in the meanwhile, it's not really a full action. Maybe that helps. I don't know. And you know what? Honestly, modern writing conventions make it hard because sometimes for emphasis, people will break up things and start the sentence with and, right? I do it a lot. I do, you know, well, that went terribly, and there was still 5 hours to go, right? That's, you know, that, and that's a stylistic thing intended for emphasis and as a conscious breaking of grammatical rules, right? So it makes it confusing for people. Like I said, this is a really common thing. People do it a lot. You are by no means the only person who regularly shows up here who does that. So anyway, I've harped on it long enough. I hope I have helped. Okay. Yeah, I tend to have the opposite problem. I have run-on sentences. You know what the worst thing is about this there, Rowan, is that I know that Siobhan is doing this because she's trying to break up the sentence, because she's aware that she has a run-on sentence. She knows, right? And she's trying to do something about it, but yes, we all have our persistent faults that we must learn to battle in submission. Mine is extra adverbs. I cut out a lot of those in the edit. Commas, I give up. I'm not figuring them out. Yeah, for sure. I agree with Eli. Yeah, my faults are many. So are mine. All right, moving on. This is actually a nice bit, right? Even though I was ripping your grammar, because, you know, it does kind of establish the relationship and the situation, right? We realize that there's tension between Francine and Rose. Perfect. Francine caught Rose sitting by the window, looking out at the young guards during weapons and parade practice, the odd sigh escaping her lips. Francine hated the thought of having to have the talk. Rose was... Oh. Okay, Rose is still too young and isn't really safe. I see what you did there. That's not your fault. That's not incorrect grammar. That's formatting, not being your friend. I am sure that in this quote you included Rose is still too young and it isn't really safe in italics. But the quote formatting for this type of article theme is hard-coded to put it in italics through the whole thing. So we can't tell what's italicized and what isn't. To include it like this in the quote and leave it as it is, I would put, Rose is still too young, she thought, comma, she thought, comma, and it isn't really safe. And then that makes it work, because otherwise it again sounds like tense disagreement, and I know it's not. I know it's her thought, right? So, yes. Yes, thank you, Bob. I never know the terminology for things, but I know what they are. Bob said a gerund is the ing form of a verb that functions the same as a noun. For example, running is fun. In this sentence, running is the gerund. It acts just like a noun. And that's why the odd sigh escaping her lips is not a sentence, because it has no verb. Escaping becomes the gerund, right? It's a noun in that sentence. It's not a verb. It's weird. Dad says, we will commiserate with you, Siobhan. Embrace the rip, and we will prop you up, because you can do it for us when it is our turn. Exactly. Oh, yeah, semicolons. I'm sure that Author Goddess wants to kill me for semicolons. I'm terrible at them. A Moonflower says, mine are commas, commas, em dashes, semicolons, colons, and writing in bullet points instead of sentences. Use the single quote thingy. That'll work too. Good work. Okay. Accomplishments and achievements. Francine is the most well-known and sought-out seamstress in all of Corrigenda. Her clients are anyone who can afford her work. Some of her most notable clients have been Queen Amasaril of Craiglam Reach, Queen Eowyn of Herigmark, most of the Fae Court. You need an and. Whenever a client becomes a repeat customer, comma, Francine gives them the option to use a color of cloth they have previously had gowns crafted from, comma, or to be tested for a new color. Since Francine keeps meticulous notes on her customers, comma, she is willing to accept orders without new measurements. This allows her to start working on an order before the client arrives for the first fitting. Rose is her great accomplishment, alopecia or not, a condition which causes hair to fall out randomly and not grow back. Every time she glances at her daughter, her smile brightens. Failures and embarrassments. Her daughter Rose is an embarrassment to her. How can a nymph be incapable of growing hair? ? She considers this to be a failure on her part. She has spent most of Rose's life trying to find a way to cover her perceived deformity, I before E except after C. So switch the order of E and I. That's the sprint. I better hurry this up. We have 10 minutes. Even with all her skill in the arcane arts and knowledge of enchantments, Francine has yet to craft anything capable of fulfilling her expectations. Francine's biggest failure is in not listening to her daughter when it comes to her hair problem. Rose has never blamed her mother for her lack of hair, nor has her mother's inability to disguise this been a cause of concern to Rose. Yeah, unfortunate things that sometimes happen in congenital disabilities. Yeah, for me it's long sentences, says Bob. Moonflower says I write in bullet points because that's how I write my zero drafts. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Personality characteristics. Motivation. Francine loves crafting gowns for her customers. She believes it is an art form that should be worn and shown off. In all honesty, Francine doesn't need the gold to survive. She sinks about a quarter of what she earns selling her gowns back into materials for her craft. The rest of the gold she earns goes to her true motivation, finding a way to allow her daughter to live a happy life with a full head of long flowing locks. Long, flowing locks. That explains a lot that happened in the article for Rose. She blames herself for her daughter's lack of hair, as though she caused it through her use of magic in crafting the gowns while she was pregnant. You don't need with Rose, I just delete that at the end of the sentence. We understand that if Rose is her only daughter, we don't need to clarify that she was pregnant with Rose when she was pregnant. Bob says, it seems odd that the section after the sentence, Rose is her greatest accomplishment, talks about how Rose is her greatest failure. Well, yeah, but that's interesting because it makes Francine complex, right? On one hand, she truly does actually love her daughter and considers her daughter to be her greatest accomplishment, but she blames herself for anything that has gone wrong for her daughter, and therefore unconsciously is embarrassed by her daughter and takes it out on her, right? And that sounds like a lot of parental relationships I know. So okay, that's not a question directed at me. Likes and dislikes. Of all the things Francine likes, working with needle and thread are on the top of her list. She loves the feel of the fabric, the way it falls when placed just so. If there is anything that rankles for her, it is, spell it out, it is inferior cloth or thread. You don't have to in dialogue, but I think in text you should here. Any merchant who sells inferior goods, I would say, that makes me trip over it, so maybe say any merchant who sells her inferior goods finds they no longer have her as a customer, nor do they retain many of their other customers. She abhors the thought that her clients may have a choice in how their gown is made, since they obviously do not have her experience or expertise, so she's a bit of a control freak too. Vices and personality flaws. If Francine were said to have a flaw, she's definitely had a flaw. You should not say that at this point. If Francine were said to have a flaw, we know she has lots of them. She's been very complex up to this point in the article. I would just skip that. I would say Francine's major flaw is her hubris. She displays this when clients try to tell her how to design their dress. This is, in essence, because she chooses everything to compliment and flatter the wearer. When the customer chooses to disregard her recommendations, you've already said that this is about choosing color or style. I would just delete that. It's trying to shorten the sentences, right? When the customer chooses to disregard her recommendations, she still does the best she can to individualize the gown and ensure that it still complements the wearer. This, of course, causes the price to increase as she feels that if she has to work with what they want and not trust her instincts, there is a cost. Skip all that. This, of course, causes the price to increase. This, of course, causes the price to increase. Good enough. We can glean your motivations from what you already said. Ignore that growl. I am not going to have time to do the other article. I'm sorry, Bob. I don't think I'm going to have time for this. Do you want me to hold it in the queue and do it on... it's a long break now, so... Do you want me to hold it in the queue and do it on Tuesday or Wednesday? Or would you prefer for me to refund your points? I will be happy to do either, but it is 4 minutes to 2, and I'm going to have to do State of the Multiverse right away. So I apologize that I have not gotten there. Let me know. Okay, Bob says, okay, but it didn't start out that way. It seemed like a contradiction. Yes, it did. It did make me trip over it a little bit, but I went, okay, you know. If you acknowledge the first feeling with something as simple as "despite this," yes, that's good advice. It takes the contradictory feeling out of the text. And because accomplishments and achievements appears first, come on now, down we go. Then you should put it here. Failures and embarrassments. Despite her pride in her daughter, Rose is also an embarrassment to Francine. There, right? And that would solve it. What's another way of saying zealot? Depends on context. I don't really know the theme there, Moon, so I'm not sure I can help you. Is the sidebar supposed to be like that? Oh, is this the one that's like a steampunk theme? And the frame is off kilter in the sidebar? Is that what you're getting at? Because if so, yes, that's how it's designed. Fanatic, yeah, that's a good one. Enthusiast seems weak, although that is what it used to mean. If you're using enthusiast in like Victorian times, that's what it means. Don't worry about the points, but I'd like your opinion, even offline, about content, says Bob. Does this serve the purpose of describing the region and what makes it interesting and desirable for RPG play? Serves the purpose of describing the region and what makes it interesting and desirable for play. Doesn't make me want to play, is basically what you're telling me. You're asking me. Okay. Can do it. Moonflower is accessing Thesaurus online somewhere. Oh, okay. Gotcha. That was the problem. Yeah, it's designed that way. Yeah. I found it weird too. I thought the same thing. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no problem, Bob. I can definitely do that. Daz, I am not going to do it after the multiverse because that is Diane Actually Writes, and if I do not aggressively and jealously protect that stream from, just being for writing, it won't be, right? So, no, I'm not going to, I'm sorry. But yeah, I will definitely look at it, Bob. When you're next here, I will try to showcase it as well, but I will give you that feedback in the Discord. Poke me about it on Monday, because I probably won't remember until then, because I'm very busy this weekend. So, if I haven't gotten back to you, I may have, but if I haven't, poke me, right? Make sure to go poke in the Discord and go, hey, or like in a DM, and I will do it. Okay, where are we here? Clients who insist on having their way are never return customers, as Francine will find better things to do when they try to book an appointment. Personality quirks. Francine has the habit of muttering to herself when designing a gown or measuring her clients. This usually is some form of rhyme or song. No one really knows, as they can hear her, but not quite make out the words. This could be in part because of the pins or pens in her mouth. Hygiene. Francine is fastidious about cleanliness, as she abhors the soiling of the materials she's working with, unless it is for the purpose of sewing or marking out plans or patterns. We don't need that. Francine is fastidious about cleanliness, as she abhors the soiling of the materials she's working with. Good enough. We are aware that putting marks on fabric is necessary for sewing. Oh, my timer? It's all 15 minutes at a time. Yes, it is, Moon. And 15 minutes and then 5 minutes. Erin has a timer that has a fiery background that's just 10 minutes at a time. Hey, James. Yeah. Is the stream frozen? Yeah, looks like it is, eh? Well, don't worry, we're about to refresh and do another stream here momentarily. Very jumpy. Okay. Okay. Can you guys hear me at least? Hey James. Napping for life, how are you? Oh, it's cleared up? Catching up. Okay, I'm gonna finish this and then we're gonna shut down and get ready for State of the Multiverse anyway. So don't go anywhere. We're gonna be down for a couple of minutes, but then we're gonna be back up. I'm going to reboot the computer since we have had so many problems with the stream limping along. Okay. Social, contacts, and relations. Francine had an improper affair with the father of Rose. He was a handsome young noble at the time. The king, yeah. When Queen Erwin heard about the affair, she nearly had Francine beheaded for treason. Her relationship ended when he died a couple years later due to a hunting accident. Queen Erwin and Francine became very good friends after the king's death as they shared his loss. That's actually kind of nice. I'm definitely not playing clips right now since my stream is having problems already, but I will look at that as soon as I go down. All right, there's lots of good stuff in this article. I really like, Francine is a complex character, and I really like the fact that she is so complex. That is cool. Thank you very much for sharing the article. We're going to shut that down now. Okay, Bob, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take your article link, and I'm going to put it in a DM to you right now. Oh, that explains that my Discord is going insane. Okay. Yes. Alright, okay, so I'm putting this link in a message to you. It's not intended to be like, you know, a message for you. Just storing here for my reference so that I can look at it later. And now I'm going to shut that down. And I'm going to shut a whole bunch of stuff down. I'm going to shut this down. This is my pledge document. I may need that. I don't currently need my Avalonian Navy article. I do not need my... You know what? I'm going to shut these both down. I'll work on them later. And then I've got manuscripts. And I think everything else I actually have to have up. Okay. Well, I don't have to have Patreon up. I can shut that down. I've even still got your article up, Daz. But it's in my thing, my queue, so remind me. Had a thought. Okay, go ahead, Stretch. I intend to be down for long enough for me to reboot the stream and my computer and change the information on my stream name and some of the graphics on my layout. So 5, maybe 10 minutes. We'll say 10 on the outside. What's your plan, dude? In the meantime, I will start closing down things. Thank you very much for joining me, everybody. Who is currently online? I have 2 World Animal things on there. If you want to go somewhere else and you're interested in writing, and she is currently streaming. If you want to wait for me for the community announcements, there's a lot of information about stuff coming up over the next month or 2. and it will probably take the entire hour to explain it all, and I won't even have to show you the stuff I've been working on, so you might have a good time. And then we're going to do some writing after that. So I'm kind of waiting for the stream to catch up with Stretch now. How I Feel If I Take a Long Break from World Building by Greg. Cool. I can't wait to see that after. Oh yeah, once again, when am I finishing? Immediately. That is Bob's article, by the way, if you guys would like to take a look at it. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to be rating, guys, because I'm going to go back live here in a minute, but I am going to shout out some people. If you would like to watch Itanshi, right? He's doing some writing. I will shout him out and put his link in the chat. And if you would like to check out, if Stretch is going to go live and see if he can do some Minecraft as a bit of a test while you wait for us to go back up, you're welcome to do that too. Provided that OBS ever recognizes what I'm doing. There we go. And Sammy's off. Thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you this weekend at Conduit. And if not, I'm sure I'll see you around at the various other events going on. Pleasure to have you, Sammy. Thanks, everybody. We're going to the Fare Thee Well stream for the moment. We'll be back up in a couple of minutes. If you are hanging out, then I'll see you when we get back. And if not, have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for all the support. And yeah, we'll see you soon.